Hey there, welcome. I'm Gitte, your host on the Stories to Remember podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. For this first episode, I felt pulled to start with an introduction. An introduction to me, so you know who you're listening to, and an introduction to why the Stories to Remember podcast. So without further ado, let's dive in. The first thought of creating a podcast came up about 3 years ago. First, it was just a thought, and in the last year, the seed I had planted grew into something bigger that I simply couldn't ignore any longer. But actually creating and uploading this first episode has been a humbling and challenging internal rollercoaster journey. To be really honest with you, I've recorded this first episode about 20 times, and I've deleted every single one of them. You see, I'm a huge fan of podcasts, and there was a time where I would listen to at least 1 or 2 episodes a day. There's so many good ones out there with incredible, inspiring hosts, speakers, experts, and impeccable production that I automatically disqualified whatever I created as something that wasn't living up to the standard of any of those that I had listened to. I'm not a native English speaker, not used to speaking in a microphone or filming myself while sharing something personal, let alone uploading this to a platform that can be listened to from all around the world. In my own head, I made this such a big mountain to climb and live up to that I kept procrastinating and simply held myself back from something that I've been wanting to do for ages. I've asked myself quite often, why do I keep trying? Why do I even want to do it if it feels this uncomfortable? Well, the answer is quite simple. Besides that, I know that growth happens in doing things that feel uncomfortable. I even more so feel pulled to do this, and I can't ignore it any longer. Over the years, I've personally experienced the importance and the power of stories. It's what helped me transform my health, my mental state, and it's currently transforming my life. It's the stories of others that connects us as human beings. It's the stories that teaches us things, challenges us to see different perspectives, makes us feel motivated, inspired, but also seen, heard, and understood. Without the stories that were shared by all the incredible people I've listened to, I probably wouldn't be where I am today. And so I'm forever grateful for them to take that step and share that with all of us. But it simply wasn't longer enough for me to just listen to those podcasts. I wanted to personally be involved, sharing the stories that can do all of the above. Share the deep, raw, real, and unfiltered that hopefully will help you on your journey, no matter what that journey is or where you are on it. And after recording 20 first episodes, trying to get it right, I realized that it's more important to do what I feel called to do than to not do it at all. Because I do this for a bigger purpose, my bigger purpose, which is to hopefully inspire and show people that it's possible to live the life you've been dreaming of. One way you get to live it on your terms and feel confident to not only be your unapologetic self, but create the life you want, no matter what people around you think. Plus, I want to introduce you to everything that might help you on that journey. And if there is only one person that listens to any of these stories to come and is able to either make a positive change in their life because of it, or feels more inspired to do so, then that's already one person more than if I hadn't started this. I heard Grant Cardone recently say that it's selfish to not share your knowledge with others, and I kind of agree. And so that's what I'm going to be focusing on, because it's more important to help people and do that in an imperfectly authentic way than to try to get things perfect, which will look different for any of us anyway. So why wasting time chasing that? You will probably notice throughout the episodes to come that I'm a big believer that everything in life is intertwined. And if we don't feel great in one area, it automatically has an impact on another, even if we don't realize it. It's why we will cover all things life, business, health, relationships, spirituality, and anything in between. I believe that knowledge is power, and that there is always more to learn or understand. There's no greater service I could have ever given myself and continue to do so than to learn and spend time to understand myself and the collective on a deeper level. And in order to do that, I continue to explore new elements that can help me on this journey, which I and experts in those fields will bring to you. It doesn't mean that what works for me or someone else will work for you. We're all different human beings, but having the knowledge and awareness is already putting you one step ahead on your journey. I also want to invite you to take action. Action creates clarity. Action is what propels you forward, and action could help someone else in the long run. So if something resonates with you, don't just feel inspired in that moment, but implement it in your life. Test it out, tweak where needed, and test again. And lastly, although I think you might have a bit of an understanding already of who I am and what I stand for, it's only fair I give you an official introduction to who I am if you're going to be on this journey with me. That being said, I don't really like to define myself too much because I'm an ever-changing and evolving person, and what I believe in or do at this point in my life might not be the same in a couple of months down the line. But what I do know about myself is this. I'm a born and raised small town girl from the Netherlands. My star sign is a Libra, so you can count on me to bring some balance, harmony, and a touch of sparkle to your life. I'm a generator in human design. I'm a huge health fanatic and biohacker. As a certified holistic health coach, I can talk about anything health related for hours, which not all of my loved ones appreciate. I'm also a fashion lover. I absolutely love shopping new season clothes, especially autumn and winter. I'm also a very curious human being with an analytical mind. And I have this big urge to want to know everything if something interests me. I like to explore and experience new things. I'm a spiritual believer, always have, always will. And my current venture is that I help aspiring and new business owners create a strong foundation for building their own business, which I do through the three key pillars that I believe are vital for every business. First, strategy. Second, automated and streamlined tech stack. And third, a good holistic health. And lastly, I aim to live and create a life that feels right to me, focusing on things that make me feel joyful and content, but also challenges me to become more resilient and a better version of myself, not just for myself, but also to others around me. Well, I think that sums it all up for now. So with that, I'm going to end this first episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, for listening all the way to the end, and for hopefully joining me on this journey. I would love it for you to let me know your thoughts and feedback on the podcast and any episodes to come. So don't be a stranger. Come say hi to me. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, which I will link the details for below. And I will be truly grateful to have your support by subscribing to my channel, sharing the love, and if you think this can be helpful to anyone around you, to introduce them to the podcast. All right, well, lots of love and speak soon.